you have to hit rock bottom in order to get back up. And I know that a bunch of doors just closed on my face, and there's gonna be a bunch of windows that are gonna be opening.
1, 2, 3, let's switch this up.
Hello, my beautiful little honeys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Anastasia, also known as your fave social media girl. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe before the video ends. And of course, don't forget to turn on the bell notification button so you know every single time that I post, which is on Fridays. I need my emotional support stuffy for this one. It's gonna be a heavy video, honeys. I'm gonna say it right now. We are just gonna talk about life and updates and how it's okay to take risks and how it's, oh my God, I'm already started crying and I haven't even started the video yet. I'm hoping that this video is something that all of you can relate to. Maybe some of you are going through something similar and just, I want you to know that you are not alone and that it's okay what you're feeling. It is completely valid, it is normal, and life may be crazy right now, but who knows, maybe next month it'll be the best month of your life. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping for. I guess let's start off with recapping what the heck has been going on in my life. A lot of you know how much I do not like serving and I want to get out of the hotel that I was working at because of the toxic environment. The hours that I was working, it was just a lot of working 12 to 15 hour days. Just in general, the whole entire aspect of this hotel has been really bad since I came back during COVID. I've been at this hotel for 4 years and it was at a point where I needed to make a decision for myself and for my health. I need to just quit. I need to disengage from this hotel. I need to get out. I cannot work here anymore. It's not healthy for me. And that was a huge decision that I was kind of bouncing back and forth with the last, let's say 3 weeks. And finally, I sort of, pulled the eject button, pulled the plug, and I quit. I brought in my 2 weeks, and that was a huge thing for them. They were all really surprised, and it just really rocked the whole entire floor where all the managers work and all that stuff. And they asked me to rethink. They asked me to sort of give them another go, and I did. For 2 weeks, I really thought about am I making the right decision? I've been at this hotel for 4 years, but I'm willing to give all that up because of how bad the environment is there. Because I need something better and healthier, and this is just not okay for me. And so I found another serving job, and this is where I was having a lot of sort of issues with myself, because when I got hired at this hotel 4 years ago in 2018, I told myself, Anna, this is the last time you're working at a serving job. You are gonna stick around with this job. This is it, because what's gonna get you out of this job is your acting career is gonna take off, or YouTube is gonna take off. One of the two creative things is what's gonna take off, and you will not be working at this job. That is the sole reason of why I'll be leaving. And I made this a whole pact. And the funny part is that everybody saw that for me. Everybody's like, yep, I could see that. You were gonna only work at this hotel for however long, and that's it. You're not gonna quit. You're only gonna quit because you were booked a job or you're in the creative field and you're fully making money from that. Obviously, when I made the decision to quit, which was a really difficult decision, and then when I started looking for another job, I had this insane resistance, because I just I hate serving so much, and I don't want to be doing this. And I felt like such a failure knowing that I am going into another serving job when I promised myself that I would not be doing this, that I would not be doing this serving at all. This hotel was my last serving job. And so I felt like I failed myself, and I failed my goals of what I wanted to do. And that was really hard for me. It was hard for me to accept. I had a lot of resistance going into this new serving job. And I think at the time I was so desperate to get out of my hotel that I actually didn't see a lot of the red flags that this new job had. And this new serving job has a lot of good perks. They have a really good team. They're fully well staffed. You're not working 12 hours. You're working max the 8-9 serving hours. But unfortunately, the management is a really toxic environment, which is the opposite of what I had at my hotel. So it was kind of everything that I wanted from the hotel I had in this place, but then everything I did have at the hotel, I don't have at this new place. So it's completely reversed. And I've been there for about now say like 8 shifts in total in like a span of 2 weeks, roughly, I would say. And I just like, I hate it so much. And now I'm like, my mind is like being completely like swirled around because I'm like, did I make the right decision by leaving my hotel? Am I making the right decision? I'm quitting this new place. By the way, side note, I'm quitting. So now I'm quitting again within 2 weeks. And I'm actually quitting with no other job lined up, which is like really scary. But for the first time in my life, I literally just like want to pull a crazy move and take a risk and say to the universe, you know what? My life is in your hands. I'm pulling myself out of this another toxic environment because my anxiety has been so bad. I had an anxiety, literally a panic attack in the bathroom of this new place because of how the managers speak to the servers. And I don't know what I'm gonna do in terms of money. I have no idea. I'm just going to, I don't know, figure it out, apply to a bunch of other restaurants and hope to God that they're good as well, or they're not toxic and I get hired within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. So that's like part one of what was been going on with my life. I left a place that I never thought I would be leaving. I felt like a huge failure for doing so because this is not what I promised myself, and I'm having a really hard time letting go of the fact that I'm going into another serving job. And then I'm quitting again within like 2 weeks of being at this other place. Not what I expected. This is not where I thought my life would be going. The other thing that's been really hard, I've had a dry spell with acting auditions, and that's been like really screwing around with my head because the last time I had an audition was actually almost 5 weeks ago, maybe just even a little over 5 weeks ago, which is strange because the month of April is usually also a busy month. Ironically, my last self-tape that I did was actually one that I was asked to redo because it was just not my best work. And yeah, I'm not gonna blame anyone for it except for myself. I'm really trying so hard not to have it be connected. The fact that the last self-tape I did was the one that she asked me to redo, and then I haven't had anything for 5 weeks. But it also could be the fact that, you know, she goes, I'm gonna put you on the back burner right now because I don't know what the heck that was with the self-tape, and I just need to focus on other people. And I'm just having like a really hard time with that as well. Not only am I like, I feel like I'm so surrounded with my serving job, I now feel like I may have disappointed my agent. And I don't like that, and I hate the fact that I'm crying about this because I like preach on my channel where you don't validate, like no one validates you. Only you validate yourself, and here's me sitting here trying to validate myself through my agent and like please my agent, and that's not what I want to do. And so then I kind of felt like, am I a fraud? Oh, I just find it interesting that like month of January, February, March, I felt pretty good. Like I was like, I'm on a roll, things are going for me here. And then I don't know what happened in April. It's like all of a sudden my life just took the sharpest like left turn. I don't have another job. I don't know where I'm gonna find another job. And I have had no auditions. It's okay, and I'm saying this out loud to you honeys and to myself. It is okay to feel in this position that I'm feeling. And I have to remind myself that, especially in this acting industry, you're not always going to have such a high, such an up, like beautiful moment. You're gonna have some really lows, like really lows, and sometimes they can come after the greatest high you've had. I guess I have to say to myself, hey, listen, if the fact my dry spell for auditions is happening because I gave a bad self-tape, then that's the consequence I have to take. You know, I'm proud of myself for taking a huge risk by standing up for myself, by quitting the first job and putting myself first, because I've struggled with this a lot in my life where I'm a huge people pleaser. I love to please people and I love to please everyone else before I please myself. And I'm proud that I took myself and I said, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not sticking at a serving job like this. And I quit the first one. I think I was in such a state of desperation to get out of my first original serving job. I think that's why I missed the red flags of the second serving job. Now that I see the red flags, I'm glad that I caught them now, not when I'm like 3 months deep in and no other places hiring before patio season. That is something that I'm proud that I got to clock. And quite frankly, I'm proud that I'm taking this risk to be like, I'm not even gonna look for another job. I'm just gonna quit and I'm just gonna deal with it. I do not think I'll be out of a job for a whole month. I highly doubt that would happen because I live in Toronto. The city is full of restaurants everywhere. Like everyone's hiring. Patio season is right around the corner. I'm more than sure that I will be able to find something. I just also had this huge realization a few days ago that I'm like, I do not want to serve anymore. I want to start looking for a job that fulfills me in a way where it is within my creative field, whether it's like maybe hosting YouTube videos for some sort of company, like talking about their products and I'm like their YouTube host, or maybe being like a casting assistant for a casting director or an agent, like being an assistant to an agent, like something along the lines of that kind of stuff, where I'm constantly involved creatively, which still allows me the freedom to do the things that I want to do, because my serving jobs drain the living hell out of me. And I've noticed that a lot of the people that I worked with in this new job and my old job, they're really low vibration. Like they're really on a low vibrational sort of field, and I feel that I get sucked into that and I get brought down, and then I take it home with me, and then it kind of lasts into the next day. I thought about not doing this video because I was like, I just felt like the last couple of times I have talked a lot about how my life is like not going the way I wanted to, and I was like, I didn't want to become this like, oh, sappy, sad girl me, like that's not what my channel is about. But then I stopped myself because I'm like, no, this is exactly why I created my channel, because I want to talk about real life situations that people go through and people have all the time. And these are things that, like, I think when you're as a working actor and you're not Hollywood status, like this is the bullshit you deal with constantly of trying to get yourself figured out and trying to find a way to make it, but yet still be a very powerful actor. And nobody talks about this. Like, not one Hollywood actor will ever talk about this. Maybe they'll say two things about like, yeah, I struggled here and there, and that's it. But no one will actually sit there and give you a 20-minute video about literally the struggle of doing this and how mentally draining it can be. And I actually was like, should I just quit? Like, I was like, why am I even saying that? That's so not me. I would never quit acting. I can't do that to myself, no way. Yeah, that felt really good. I actually have a therapy session in 50 minutes, so it's okay if your life is falling apart. Lesson number one, just take a deep breath, and that's exactly what I just did, and cry it out, because it will definitely help you. And one thing I can recommend is just take a step back and just reassess everything. Just look at the big picture. What is giving you the most anxiety? Like, why is this happening? Then look at the second, look at the third. Maybe you have to switch something around. Maybe you have to pull yourself out of something. Maybe something has to go into pause. And that's exactly what I did, because when I hit my rock bottom in May, I had to tell myself, I need to either pause on something, I need to either fully change something, and that's exactly what I did. And it's been a roller coaster couple of weeks. I did fall apart a few times, and that's okay. My insecurities have definitely come out, where I started doubting myself as an actor, whether I should be even doing this. Maybe I'm not meant to be an actor. Maybe this is not the path for me. Like, all of these things fully came back into me, and I worked so hard to get rid of them for like a solid year with therapy. So that also was hard for me to know that that's how it came back for me. But give yourself a big hug, honeys. And remember that it's okay if you fall off the bandwagon. Instant forgiveness. That is really, really important. Instant forgiveness for all the little, little things that happen. And it's gonna be okay. Because I know that you have to hit rock bottom in order to get back up. And I know that a bunch of doors just closed on my face. And there's gonna be a bunch of windows that are gonna be opening. And I'm really excited for that. And I just want to say thank you for listening. And thank you for allowing me to share my emotions and allowing me to be raw and vulnerable on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh my gosh. Honeys, you can also follow me on Instagram at Anastasia_PRO. And I love you all so, so, so much. And I wish you all a wonderful weekend. And big hugs. Big hugs to you, honeys. I love you, honeys. I'll see you all next Friday. Bye.